I'm coming in hot before we dive into today's episode because I have a special announcement, something I've been dreaming of creating for the past 7 years. You know how it feels to learn all of this amazing personal growth stuff, but then somehow end up feeling worse because you're not actually doing it? Like your knowledge is actually making you feel guilty instead of empowered. I get it. That's exactly why I created Living Mind Love. Each month, we'll explore one focus area through the lens of neuroscience and spirituality. But here's the magic part. Instead of overwhelming you with changes, we'll break everything down into tiny micro shifts that your brain actually welcomes, so you'll understand the science behind why it works, connect with the spiritual wisdom, and most importantly, actually apply it to your life. The value in this program is worth at least 50 times what I'm going to be giving it to you for, because it is my mission to help as many people as possible transform their lives. You'll also get access to the first ever Mind Love community on School. So if you're ready to stop collecting wisdom and start actually living it, go to mindlove.com/waitlist to join the waitlist, and you'll get instant access to my 10-year vision meditation. So let's get into today's episode. Welcome to an exclusive episode of Mind Love. Today's episode is all about deep listening skills for deeper connections and challenging conversations.
The more that you are in this way of being, it's like the world shifts around you. It might be in a very incremental way, but what we do have control over is how we respond to whatever is before us and how we set the tone. And it's not always perfect, and it doesn't always work, exactly how we script it out in our minds, but incrementally, step by step, being committed to operating on a higher level, so to speak. When you model that for others, it's almost like others will entrain themselves to you, to the higher vibration, the higher example. And when you experience reciprocation, because it will come, it's quite sweet.
You want to know what's strange? We are more connected than we've ever been, but for some reason, we're also more divided than we've ever been. There's also more people on Earth than there's ever been, but somehow we're lonelier than we've ever been. Why? Most of my life, I've felt a little lonely. Even when I'm in a huge group of people, I've just had this sense of separation. Like I was just alone in my body in a crowd of people. I will say it used to be worse, or maybe just different. As I get older, I find that I might have less relationships, but the ones I do have are a lot more intimate. They're more aligned with who I am and who I'm becoming. Actually, I'm sitting here trying to analyze it all, but 2020 has shaken things up a little. Almost like a lot of the relationships that were really beginning to form and become those deep friendships have been put on pause. So I can see why people are at an all-time low. According to polls, as a whole, we haven't been this unhappy in 50 years. We're social beings, whether you're an extrovert or an introvert. All of us have a deep desire to be loved and to feel connected. But I'm starting to wonder if we're forgetting how to really connect with each other. We have all these tools to help us, and maybe that's why it's so difficult, because we think that the tool will do all the work for us, so we take the responsibility off of ourselves. Kind of like how I used to be really good at remembering directions, but now I find myself using Google Maps just to get somewhere a few miles away in a city that I've lived in for 10 years. The crutch has become a new limb that I refuse to give up. So how do we come back to connection? What are we missing? I think we're all so busy broadcasting our opinions and perfectly curating our images online that we don't really get to know people or let people get to know us. And I mean the real us, not those Instagram versions of us. But here's the thing. Just like with everything else in life, that change starts with you and me. I can't expect people to be interested in the real me if I don't seem genuinely interested in the real them. And in order to be genuinely interested in them, I have to listen. Like really listen to their words and to their body language and to the underlying messages beneath what they're saying. I know what this feels like. It feels totally different. The relationships feel totally different. It reminds me of my best friend, Bretty. She's probably the best listener I know. When she listens with her whole body. She leans in. Her facial expressions react to what I'm saying. She never seems to be judging me no matter what I'm telling her. She just takes it in. When I tell her a story, she asks questions. And good questions, not just more details about the story, but things like what I was thinking when it was happening, or the first time I could remember feeling that way, or why I think I reacted in a certain way. She asks questions that guide me to understand myself a little bit better. It's probably why we're best friends. I can't help but feeling connected to someone who is so receptive to me, to my energy. And I want more connections like that. I think we all do. But like I said before, that has to start with ourselves first. And to be the kind of listeners that cultivate deep and meaningful connections, I suppose we have to know how, right? So that's what we're talking about today. Our guest is Terri Lonowski. She has a master's in educational psychology, and she's the founder of Soulful Listening. Through her own loneliness journey, she began to study what it meant to really deeply listen and why this skill is so fundamental to every human. She found that through 5 easy, repeatable steps, we could ease feelings of loneliness, create more fulfilling connections, and begin to break free from our own limitations. So 3 key things we will learn today are what it means to really hear someone or to be deeply heard, 5 simple steps to increase high-quality communication and create deeper, meaningful connections, and how to use social media to connect on a deeper level. Hey there, Wild Minds. So this was just a preview, but you can access the whole episode with a Mind Love Premium membership. If Mind Love has been helpful to you in any way, consider helping support the show by joining this exclusive community. I promise I'm making it totally worth it. You get exclusive episodes, which means twice the Mind Love, in a private feed that imports right to your favorite podcast app, so you don't have to go to the web to listen. And that's not all. You also get all Mind Love episodes ad-free for uninterrupted listening. You get early access to episodes, and you get bonus video interviews and powerful meditation downloads. And finally, you get priority access to me, so you're free to reach out to me with any questions that you have about life, love, relationships, success, whatever it might be. And in more good news, you can get started free with a 2-week free trial. Just go to mindlove.com/premium. And if you're a student, reach out to me on Instagram and I'll give you a special discount.